16 whiskeys entered the tournament, only 4 remain. The battle for the ultimate pour of 2024 will be settled tonight. This is an epic blind tasting with 4 fantastic pours kicking off the new year to settle the score. Which bottle will claim the title? Stick around and find out. It's the Cynple Whiskey Show.
Cynple whiskey, Cyncere. Here to keep it 100. What's the ABV? Keep it simple. Cynple whiskey. Be sweeter.
Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to the grand finale of the 12 Days of Whiskey. I'm Cyncere, and tonight we're crowning the ultimate pour of 2024 in a blind tasting that features all the finalists. This title is based on the bottles I own, not bottles I've tasted over the years, so sorry, no Russell's 15, unfortunately. Let's meet tonight's contenders. Maker's Mark the Heart released a stunning entry from the new wood finishing series. Stagg Batch 24A, a powerhouse of bold flavors, George T. Stagg, king of the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, and Penelope Estate Collection, a blend of elegance and finesse. Tonight, we'll be judging each pour on nose, palate, finish, and in the end, one whiskey will rise above the rest. And to keep things fair, we're doing it blind, baby. If you've enjoyed this series, take a moment, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your predictions down in the comments below. Let's get to sipping. I've been sick for the last 6 days. These glasses were poured 6 days ago. No, I'm kidding. I have been sick for the last 6 days. These glasses were poured a couple of hours ago. My wife was kind enough to come down here and pour them up for me. Nose is a little bit stuffy, but that's not stopping me this time from diving into 4 fantastic pours and crowning the champ. So let's start with the nose. Glass A. Strong nose, very bold flavors. Get a little bit of dark caramel, rich oak. A little bit of black cherry dominate on this one. Also a little bit of spice on the end. Let's dive into B. Ooh, this is rich. I get a little bit of a dark chocolate note, a little bit of brown sugar, almost like a toasted marshmallow, very oaky throughout as well. Let's see what we get on C. All right, this is a little bit sweeter than the first 2. Rich caramel notes, a little bit of toasted oak. And I get a little bit of like a Nutella note, something a little more chocolatey on the back end of this one. Let's see what D has to offer. All right, this one almost hits me with another 180. I get brighter notes this go around, very citrusy, orange peel with a touch of toasted oak, something sweeter on the back end of this one as well. So let's go back in for a sip. Glass A. Ooh. First sip of the night, definitely drinks as such. Pretty spicy up front. As it settles, I get a little bit of cherry cola, charred oak, maybe a little bit of baking spice. And as it further calms down, I get a little bit more caramel, a little bit of vanilla, very warm finish, oaky, and a little bit of cinnamon that stand out on this one. Smidge of dark chocolate and a faint nuttiness come through as well. Let's try B. First sip out of the way, this one is rich, bold, doesn't seem to come out swinging like Glass A did. I get a little bit of dark chocolate, oak, a little bit of sweetness, maybe even a molasses note. The oak really balances this profile out. It's powerful, but incredibly smooth, but I probably give credit to Glass A for opening my palate up for that one. I get a touch of dark cocoa powder and traditional oaky notes on the finish. Definitely stays with you for a while, really good. Let's try C. Okay, this one doesn't seem to be as proofy as the other 2. Very sweet on the initial sip. I get a nice caramel note on this one. Through the mid palate, I get a little bit of chocolate as well. On the back end, a little bit of spice, but also a sweeter maple note. Finish is sweet, doesn't linger as much as the others, but I get more of that chocolate and toasted oak on the finish. Another terrific pour. Let's try D and then we'll eliminate a couple of these. Oh yeah, this is really smooth. Very peaches and cream up front. Transitions nicely into a fresh baked bread note as well. The finish is also very smooth. I get a sweeter note like a honey, a light caramel, and a touch of oak, maybe a little bit of spice that fades. All right, let's narrow this down a little bit. So the first glass that I'm gonna eliminate is C. C is very good, but a little bit lackluster compared to the other 3. And the second glass I'm gonna eliminate is D. Definitely a close call. I don't expect this to be easy given what we're up against tonight. And if I'm grading on nose, palate, and finish, the finish doesn't stack up to the other two, so that leaves us with A and B. So I'm gonna go through each of these one last time, then crown a winner. So let's go back into glass A. Oh yeah, night and day difference from the first sip. Since I'm thoroughly warmed up at this point, not quite as spicy as it was originally. I still get that black cherry note, a little bit of a cola note. The oakiness is also a little bit smoother now. This is a great pour. The finish still lingers, begging me to come back for another sip. I get some sort of a nutty note on the finish as well. Let's give B another try. Very traditional burst of bourbon flavors up front. The oak is very prominent on this one this go around. As I chew on it a little bit, I get a great chocolate note. The sweetness from that chocolate note moves well into the finish also. It lingers a little bit and doesn't quite wear out its welcome. This is gonna be tough, but let's crown a champion. After tasting each of these incredible pours, I have a winner. Glass C went out first, so let's see what that was. Maker's Mark the Heart Release. Again, this one was really good, just not as robust as the other ones. Glass D went out second, and that was Penelope Estate Collection 9-year. This one made it further in the tournament than I would have initially imagined, but I did say there was something special about this one from the very first sip. So there were two left, A and B, both very bold. Now that I know both are Stagg, I'm curious to see which Stagg steals the win. The winner of the 12 Days of Whiskey and the Ultimate Pour of 2024 is Glass B, which was George T. Stagg. I can't be mad at any of these bottles tonight. All were great in their very own way. All had some things that outshined the competition. But George T. Stagg brought the most bold, complex flavors, a phenomenal finish, and a level of intensity that left a lasting impression. It truly earned its spot as the pour of the year in my book. If you want to see more of the journey George T. Stagg took to get to the championship, check out the videos on your screen right now. May the new year be filled with new memories, stories, and great pours. And as always, keep it simple. Cheers.